Hello again, Ron here with you from ronschoice.com. Just simply sharing my thoughts and feelings on life and my journey to enlightenment, which I'm still working on it. I do realize that I've changed a lot over the years, and one of the things that changed, that I purposely changed, was my confidence. And I've just recently went through something that confirmed that sometimes what I think or feel is correct, and the things that I share are helpful to others. And I'm grateful to the people that let me know that it helped them. With that being said, I want to start from the beginning again. I kind of want to share what this means and how it applies, because this is the foundation. I try to stick to the fundamentals. Because when you're in a relationship with people, whether it's work, family, whatever, it's how you relate to one another. And the biggest problem is communication. And it's no one's fault. It has to start with a bit of faith. A bit of faith in the other person that you're dealing with, that they have good intentions. You know, that's where we get the projecting, where people project. Where if I say something, you take it a certain way, because you're projecting your thoughts and feelings. Now, sometimes, and again, you know, I always point to the yin-yang. There's times where that's true, and there's times where it's not. So there are times when someone has just a pure intention where they're telling you something, and you just take it a certain way. And that person has no clue how you took it. So honesty, open transparency. It takes work and effort. It takes time to do it with yourself, and then if you're gonna build a relationship with people, whether it's friends, co-workers, a partner, it takes time to get to know that. You can't jump to conclusions, and that works both ways, because a lot of times I think and overthink of how I say something, because I'm like, okay, this person could take it this way or that way. So sometimes I say something and I say, this means this, so I make sure I get my point across, or make sure that that I'm understood, that it's not taken the wrong way. But sometimes you just can't help it, because people are gonna have a certain view on things, and sometimes it's an expectation of something, so that's what they hear, and it's human nature. It's like when you get a new car, a new white car, and you just see a bunch of white cars all of a sudden. It's when you focus on something, that's what you get. Anyway, my point is, that's why I want to kind of share, and I'll do this over and over again, because it's the fundamentals, and that's, to me, that's how things work. It's repetition and consistency, and I've been going through this. I've been doing this for years in my head, but not coming out. So, I think so. I am. What that means to me, because there's a saying out there that goes way back years ago, centuries ago. I think, therefore I am. And what that meant was, I am alive, I am a person because I am able to think. I think, I'm conscious, so I am. That's not what this means. This has more to do with the law of attraction and what it states underneath. Be aware of your thoughts and feelings and take controlled action. It means what you think is what you become. It becomes your reality. Now, that is the simplest form. It's what that's why I go on to say, be aware of your thoughts and feelings. Because we can say stuff. Oh, I'm happy. Oh, everything's okay. Oh, I want to be rich. Oh, this, that, or the other. If you don't truly believe it, expect it, it won't happen. Your subconscious is what controls most of your life. So when I say be aware of your thoughts, you have to be aware. You have to think about what you're thinking. It takes time. That's why I'm going to try to make these shorter and just more often. I always feel like, I can only do one a day. I'm just going to come as often as I can. The people that want to hear it will hear it. The people that need to hear it will hear it. And you guys will get what you want to get out of it. But I'm telling you, from a spiritual side, from a psychological side, from just a realistic side, that's basically how things work. I've used this analogy before. Race car drivers are taught when they go on a spin, don't look at the wall. Do it. Go out one day and focus on something, and you tend to go towards it. That's just how the mind works. That's how God and the universe works, and life. It's when you're focused on something, that's where it goes. And if you're not aware of your subconscious, that's why they say alcohol is a truth serum, because your inhibitions go away, and then your true self comes out. You can put on a front. It's like first impressions. When you first start dating someone, that you're kind of putting on a front, right? So after a while, your true self comes out. So when you get into situations, you'll really say how you feel. When you don't have time to just sit there and logically process it and say, okay, this is, everything's okay. It's got to come from deep down. So that's why it's so important. Be aware of your thoughts and feelings. And sometimes you can ask other people. You can take a situation and you can ask people. It's tough because unless you've got those friends that are just blunt and to the point, and they'll be brutally honest with you, it doesn't mean it's always accurate. But a lot of times people are going to be nice. They're going to sugarcoat it. So you have to, and what I use is my results. I'm like, hey, how I'm thinking, how I'm doing, how I'm acting, am I getting the results that I want? Whether if I'm getting a good relationship with someone, or if it's getting something from work, or whatever it may be. I look at, like the video the other day, the first key to your happiness and get what you want is to take full responsibility for everything. So you have to start looking inside. How did I get myself in that situation? How did I find myself there? That you hear about all the time, that, divine intervention, where you were running late one morning and, maybe you had a flat tire, and then you find out that there was a big accident. And because you had that flat tire, kept you from being in that accident. So some people look at it as, it was divine intervention. Well, that's good. That's a good positive way to look at it. I would prefer to avoid a flat tire and avoid the accident. So you just have to play with it on your own, and you'll start to see nuances. And as we go, I'll share examples. I just wanted to give some insight to how I think, how this stuff works for me, because I've been playing small. I've seen a lot of things. I've accomplished a lot of things that I wanted, And I just it's hard by yourself. It's hard to. It's a challenge. I'll say. I don't like to say it's hard. It's a challenge to push yourself further. I watch a lot of videos, read a lot of books, and that helps me. You know, Zig Ziglar says, somebody said motivation doesn't last, says neither does bathing. That's why we do it every day. And it's a challenge to watch these videos and to get motivated, and we have to find things that motivate us and push us. And we don't know what we don't know, right? So it's kind of, where do I get that information from? Who do I get it from? I mean, YouTube. I'm just getting ready. I got one lined up that caught my eye that I'm getting ready to watch. So if you have someone that can help you, because I've done it. I've had people that kind of nudge me along. I was just challenged the other day. I was it was brought up to me that I was getting the results, and they were right, and I know why. Action. That's the other thing. What this means to me is, I think so I am. So what I'm thinking about, because everything starts as a thought, right? I mean, everything had to come from somewhere. So it's a thought. And then, how do you feel? How does that make you feel? Do you get excited? Do you really want it? If you think about the things that you've achieved in life, whether it was getting a car, a house, or whatever, your focus was there. You knew it was there. You had a picture of it. You could feel it. You might have had doubt every now and then, but the main motivator was there. The belief was there, and that's why it happened. So be aware of those thoughts and feelings. If it depends on how bad you want something, because there's the belief and the desire of how bad you want it. If it's something that you've just kind of put out there, like maybe a new car or a new job or a boat, and it's not really coming, how important is it to you? If you wanted a house, but you need it, you needed a house. I need a place to live. I'm wasting money on rent. I want my own place. Or, my car's breaking down. I got to get a car. It depends on how bad you want it, right? That's the motivator. So if it's not really something that's a necessity, then we start playing these games with ourselves in our mind that, I don't really need it, so you don't make that important. Or, for some of us that have played around with the law of attraction, they're like, oh, yeah, all you got to do is think about it, just put it out there, and the universe will give it to you. No, if it was that easy, everybody would have everything they want. You have to change the vibration that you have inside. It has to be so strong that you just expect it. It's just like you're just expecting it to happen. You don't know how, but you're expecting it to happen. That's how strong it has to be. But you have to be aware. Whenever those doubts come up, you gotta say, where are these doubts coming from? Why am I having these doubts? No, I don't have doubts. This is mine. I'm getting it. It's mine. Then you do have to take action. So, and this kind of plays into even if you're in having confrontation with someone. Be aware of your thoughts and your feelings. Don't let what someone else says or does affect you to the point where you take uncontrolled action. Of course it affects us. We're human. But when you start being more aware of your thoughts and your feelings, then you can rationalize, and then you can take controlled action, and you can do things in a more controlled way instead of just reacting right out of the gate at something. But that also applies to, if you want something in life, you have to take action. You have to move towards it. It's not just going to be given to you unless you're just really powerful and you have that ability. I believe it's possible. I believe some people can do it. I've seen people do it. But for the most part, that's why we're here. And life is to have the experience of attaining things. So anyway, that's what that's about. That's the foundation, the fundamental. I believe everything's possible. I believe that if you think you can manifest something into your life, then you don't have to, but for me, my goal, my journey is that I'm manifesting everything, good, bad, or indifferent, except for those anomalies, because sometimes shit happens. Sometimes I won't go into depth in that. Sometimes other people's attraction are stronger than yours. So if you're pulled into their vortex, I'll give you an example. As I worked with Amazon going to assemble stuff, my thought is I'm going to go, everything's going to go smooth, all the parts will be there, nothing will be broken, and then sometimes I show up and the stuff's broken. I would say, I don't know, 80% of the time that happens, that person will say, oh, this always happens to me. Oh, go figure. Oh, Murphy's Law. Oh, not again. So that's where I have a job. I have a deal where I make with Amazon and I go to these people's houses. Then I enter their world. Now, if I was focused, if I focused a little bit more on not attracting those jobs and those people, then you know how you get that little voice that says, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't click on that job. Maybe I shouldn't take that left. Maybe I shouldn't answer the phone. If you're tapped in, tuned in, turned on, if your mind is clear and your intentions are pure, and you're tapped into the source, you'll have that guidance. But if you're not, if you don't know what you want, if you're muddled, if you're confused, then it's kind of, people go by your gut. Well, what's going on? What's going on with you? Does your gut feeling work? If it does, go for it. What are the results? What are the results are you getting? So that's why I'm saying play with it. See what your results are when you're trying to get something or change something. To just pick something, whether it's to improve at work or improve your relationship or to make more money or to improve your body. Think how you're thinking about it. I mean, it's going to take effort. It just is. Think about your thoughts on that situation. Start to change them and focusing on what you want. Don't focus on the reality of what's happening. Have that picture of what you want and walk towards it with the undeniable belief that you're going to have it. And then check your results. And then if you're not getting what you're wanting, ask yourself, how do I really feel about this? Am I really believing it? Where am I going with this? After a while, it just becomes part of life. That's how you get what you want. Anyway, it's long enough. Let's see if this works. I got a whole new setup. If you can see it, I got the camera right there, so it just all set up easier. So I'm gonna try and get this on the blog, get it out to you guys. And oh yeah, there's a timer. That was 19 minutes. All right. Well, I hope you hung around. If you did, kudos to you.